Kathy, Aiden, Edna, and June. I'm also getting my chest is very, very heavy. Very, very heavy. There seems to be a grandmother figure here because she's giving me a yellow rose, but I also kind of see her standing there. She's very grandmotherly. For some reason I see her in like a flower dress. She has, it looks like grayish hair and maybe really short. She's showing me a cane, so maybe at some point she had to use a cane to walk. There is a reference to like doing all the things like grandmothers do, like I get a reference to baking, like baking cookies, and she's also showing me a significant painting. So I don't know if that's one that she did or one that somebody else did or somebody's an artist. I feel I want to put the chest with her because she's the one that's stepping through. Like I can see her in my third eye, of course. She's not like, I keep looking over there because she's probably standing there, but I see it with my third eye, not with my eyes. I'm getting like a ton of anxiety, but it's probably the energy. Sure, yeah, the names were Kathy, Aiden, and Edna, and I got the June, so I don't know if that's a month or a name. So months can be birthdays, passings, anniversaries, anything significant for that month connected to you or someone else alive or past. But this lady, she's very, I see her like in one of the old school like flower dress, kind of like what my grandma used to wear, but her hair is like a shorter grayish color. Again, she comes across as very grandmotherly, very, very, very loving, very kind. Trying to get more to see if I can. I also get the name Steve. So again, first, middle, doesn't have to be the person that's there. It can be a connection to someone in your family. I also get Anne. There's a lot that are just saying their names and I don't freaking know who they are. Marie. Can anybody take her? Sometimes I get stuck on something. It's like she's holding out her hands, okay? And she is her hands are, I don't know if she had issues with her hands, but she goes like this. So it's almost like they had issues with their hands or arthritis or something of that sort. So they, like I said, she's wearing like a flowery dress. I won't always see them, okay? This is just, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. She has like the shorter, I want to say like her hair is like short like this. And it's grayish in color, okay? And she's wearing like, I don't know if she always wore like the older school flowery dresses like my grandma used to wear them like back in the day. Also getting a head pain all of a sudden. Okay. Trying to pull her in a little bit more. I don't know what this means, so I keep I keep getting like, well, if you can claim at least 95% of what I'm giving you, okay? There's a reference to, and I'm not really sure what this is. I don't know what this is, okay? I'm just going to explain the vision and maybe it makes sense. So how you perceive it, how it makes sense to you. All right. So there's a reference to a shower like head, like someone taking a shower or a bath and a shower head. So I don't know if that means that somebody washed her hair when they needed her to, but it's that keeps coming in. So I don't know if someone took care of her, and that's the way I'm relating to it, is that maybe they helped her wash her hair or whatever. That's the only thing I can. That's the way I want to take it. I also feel like they were a collector of things. So there's reference to like knickknacks and trinkets and things like that they collected that maybe they had on shelves. And I want to say that they had. So can you take about 95% of the sunshine? And there is a reference to, well, there might be, like I said, there might be two different energies coming in. So whatever you can claim again is a message for you, but if you can get 90 to 95% of what I'm saying, then that's for you. There's also a little shaggy dog that's with her. Okay. So there's also a little shaggy dog, and the shaggy dog is like gray and black. It's like one of those like Yorkies or something similar to that. That's with her. I don't know if it was her dog or someone else's dog, but it's with her. This No, you're not out, because remember, if you can claim some of that, then that's also a message for you, all right? Because they will mention things that make sense for multiple people, all right? And they can come in together. It isn't, so just keep that in mind, all right? Probably getting high off this marker. So I'm hearing jewels. So I don't know if they liked jewels, if that's a name, or jewels were handed down, or they they had a lot of jewels. My gosh. Right. So like what she's saying right here, that is a message for her as well. Does that make sense? Okay. Sue, can you take like 99% of this? Okay. So again, keep in mind, it can make sense for multiple people. That means you're getting a message too, because there's multiple spirits on the other side. Okay. All right. Does the lady Sue, does the lady that I'm explaining to you, does she look like how I described as well? I keep getting like the bangs are down like this or something, and they're like kind of straight across. I just want to make sure that who I'm describing makes like looks like. Because I'm connecting to the person that I could describe, so she could look like the same point in her life, but she's coming to me how you would recognize her. So it's like she has shorter grayish hair, but I keep wanting to get like her bangs go like flat or something like on her forehead. Like she keeps showing me that. And it's weird because it's interesting because she shows me a jagged. So I don't know if like she cut her own bangs and she messed up or what. But they are her hair is a grayish color. Okay. And her hair is a shorter. It's not long hair. Can you take the chest and lungs as well, Sue? Because I feel like the chest and lungs belong to her, so it's lungs or heart, or both, but definitely a heaviness in the chest. Okay. I'm just gonna keep going on. All right, I'm seeing daisies now, so I don't know if that's symbolic for a name or if there's a love for daisies, but I'm getting that as well. I'm also getting the name George. Connection. Okay, so Sue, does she look like how I'm describing? Because if you can take 90 to 95% of this, then I'll bring you on, and maybe when I bring you on, I can get more. Her hair, well, the way that I see the bangs are straight, so they're it's like straight and cut straight across. Okay, so you can take 90 to 95%. Okay. Okay, George is your dad's name. Okay. Let me Sue. And funny, Sue, is because I told you. What did I tell you yesterday?
I know.
You said I'm gonna fall asleep, and I said drink some coffee and come anyway.
I had 3 cups, and I'm not gonna sleep till tomorrow. So
okay, all right. Tell me how you can take all that, and then maybe it'll help bring in a little bit more.
My mom had really bad heart problems. She had severe breathing problems. She had asthma. At the end, it was really bad. I did her hair and cut it my entire life. When I was a little girl, for a school picture, she cut my bangs straight across and all jagged. Her father's name is George.
Okay.
I even did her hair for the wake.
Okay.
And it was gray and short, but
do you ever wash it?
All the time.
Okay. I just want to make sure because she was specific with the. I've never gotten that vision in any reading I've ever done before, so I didn't know what it was. But
I have a salon in my basement.
Okay.
And she lived down there.
Gotcha.
And she's strong. I knew she was going to come through.
Yeah, she's standing over there because I keep looking over there.
Well, I had lights flashing in my bathroom before you even started. There were lights flashing, and then some alarm went off, and I'm like, okay, I know this was the right thing to do.
Yeah. And it's funny that I said that to you. I was like, oh, well, just drink some coffee and come on. Okay, so did she ever have, like, where does the older car come in? The older style car?
My dad had every car you can imagine. He worked at General Motors.
Okay.
So he had all like really nice cars as soon as they came out, but they're old, they were old.
This is an old style car, and well, actually it's like a truck. You know, one of those like older my grandpa used to have them, like the older Chevy trucks. I think they're Chevys, but I'm not great at trucks, but they like back in the
always
older
had Chevys.
the 50s, and it's like a dark colored and it's very shiny. Like that's how I see it. It could just be how I'm relating to it, but I see it like, the humps on this, how the humps are big on the side.
Yes.
Yeah. Like where the tires go, how they had those big humps and they had like the round front. Like that's the kind of truck I keep seeing, like the old style. I mean, it could be symbolic. It might not be literally look like that.
It could be my dad's dad, because I know he always had a picture of a truck like that.
Okay.
But my dad always had Chevys.
Okay. This is interesting that I said Chevy.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I can't stand this.
Because I keep relating it to my grandpa, and he had like trucks like that. He liked Chevys too. He's like, don't ever get a Ford.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so I know that you said like you washed your hair and stuff, but did you always also take care of her prior to her passing?
Yes.
Because she's showing me like you like running and doing things for her, and you were always there. I get like you were always there, you always took care of her, and she's showing me that. And she's thankful for that. I'm getting chills with my on my head with that. But she's very thankful for the way that you took care of her.
Oh.
And she says it's funny because you never think about this, when your kids are growing up, that you're taking care of them, and then one day our kids turn around and have to take care of us.
Right. And that's how it was. It became like a reversal of roles.
Yeah, that's what she's saying. Basically what she's saying as
Yeah.
far as reversing the roles. I don't know
And
if she ever told you that.
She had
Yeah.
a shower chair, and I used to help her at first, and then I couldn't do it because of the fibro, and my husband used to do it and shower her right in our house.
Can you take the dog?
That's Ranger Marie. You described her.
Oh, and her name's Marie too. Okay. I don't remember, girl. I know I've done readings for you, but it's been so long I don't remember any of my readings. So
yeah, she's the little prissy Yorkie.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was. I did want to say it was a Yorkie. That's what it looks like, and it's interesting. I got Marie with her.
Yeah, Ranger
okay.
Marie.
Perfect. So she was sitting on your mom's lap.
Yeah, but she used to sit downstairs. My mom sat in a chair and had a TV in front of her, and Ranger would sit on the side, and they would like sneak saltines and stuff that they shouldn't be eating, neither one of them. And
yeah, she's sitting with the dog on her lap.
Wow.
So I think
Ranger's there. Yes, Ranger's there with her. Oh my God.
Yep. She's sitting on her lap. She shows me her sitting on her lap. So that's what I'm saying. Did she sit on her lap a lot? Because she's still sitting on her lap in the vision that she's showing me.
No, she sat right next to her like a little.
She's on her lap now.
Well,
she showed me she's on her lap.
That's
and it's interesting. The dog is like jumping up and like giving mom kisses, and like she's all perky. She's all perky on the other side.
Oh.
So that's her little buddy. It seems like they're always together from what I can see, from what she's showing me. Like this dog is her companion on the other side. So if you ever wondered if she was with mom, she's definitely with mom.
Oh my God. She was my little soulmate.
Yep. See, I didn't remember what she looked like and everything. Like I said, I don't remember my readings, and it's been a couple years, I think. But, yeah, I saw her clear as day. Sometimes I don't see like exactly what they look like, but I was like, yeah, that's a Yorkie. It was like the gray and black little fuzzy little Yorkie dog. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, she's saying that was her with the lights. She does that to you all the time. And there's something about a clock or a alarm clock, or she's showing me a clock and the lights, the numbers flashing on the clock. I don't know if like those digitals. It's like one of those, like the old alarms, and the numbers are flashing on it. I don't know if that makes sense.
Well, my whole internet went out like a half hour before you started, and I was panicking. And then the iHome, like where I charge my phone, which should always be the same time as your phone, it's off a few minutes. I have no idea how that could happen. And that was beeping too. An alarm went on it.
Oh, the alarm was beeping?
Yeah, right before you
that's her symbolism for alarm, because I relate the old school clocks to the alarms, because I used to use those to wake up.
Yes.
So yeah, it's an alarm. Yep.
I knew it was her with those lights because I was taking a shower.
Oh, it was her. She's the first one to come through because
She was strong.
she says that like
Oh,
she didn't think you'd make it through the whole life, so she wanted to push her way through.
she knows me.
But she comes across, she's like your best friend. Like I get my symbolism for best friend, so I feel like you two were always close. You
Yes,
always did things together. She shows me outings, like we used to go eat together and do things together. And
yes,
I don't know if she liked to go in shops or something like that, but she shows
yeah,
me like a specific spot where you guys used to go and like walk down the sidewalk and look at the shops and go eat. Like it was like an outing when she was well. That makes
yes,
sense.
yes, yes,
Okay.
exactly.
And there's also a mention of the hospital. So I don't, she's showing me a hospital, but I'm not really sure what she means by that.
Yes, do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, she's just showing me like a big hospital. So I don't know if it means that she like she went into the hospital prior
Yeah,
to her passing.
yeah.
Okay.
She
Um
she went into the hospital, and they called me and said, you need to get down here. She was fine the day before talking to me. And she, by the time I got there, she had passed. There was a priest standing at her door.
okay, so she was in the hospital when she
She
passed. So
was
that's
in
why
the
she's showing me that. Okay.
Yeah, and my whole regret was that I wasn't with her, but I sat with her for hours
But
afterward.
she okay, so she didn't want you to be there.
I know, that's what you said when you did that. When I
She
asked you
didn't
that.
want you to be there. She knew you were on your way, and so she wanted to leave before you got there because for one, she was ready and she knew she wouldn't be able to leave, and for two, she didn't want to put you through that. She wanted
Oh,
you to remember her the way that, and I'm getting chills. She wanted you to remember her the way that you remembered her, not in those last moments.
right.
So she wanted you to have the happy memories of her
Yeah.
instead of. So that gave me chills.
I, she was always laughing. She had
Yeah.
the best laugh.
Did she love like old music or music? Like I keep seeing her put on a record player and
I have an antique Victrola
jamming. Okay.
filled with albums that she always played, like old albums. They're probably worth a fortune. They're vinyls. They're
Yeah. Cause she shows me like one of those the old school record players.
yeah.
And she really loved like that kind of music. Like I keep wanting to go back to like the old music.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I
Like she says way before your time. That's what she tells me, way before your time.
yes,
Yeah,
she
way
had
before
this.
my time.
Yes.
My grandma was like that too. Like she reminds me of my grandma a lot, but she also had all those records and stuff. So that's another collecting thing, I guess. It could be a
Yes,
collecting thing.
she collected bells. She had like tons of bells that I did not. She collected bottles, antique bottles.
She collected a lot of things. That's what she was saying. Like she just
Yes.
liked to collect things.
Coins. Yes.
I was seeing like the jar of coins whenever she was talking about collecting. It was like a whole bunch of different things.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is with like older people. They like to collect things because my grandparents were the same way.
Yes.
Uh,
She knew I wouldn't throw them away.
yeah.
Why, they're here.
So she's referencing like a moment you guys are driving somewhere. I don't know if it's a trip or somewhere else, but there's a moment in the car where you guys have a specific conversation. And this kind of feels like it was a very important conversation, very special conversation, and it just kind of came out of nowhere. I don't know if you can recall that.
Like illegal.
It could be, it feels like it comes across as like you guys are in the car and all of a sudden a conversation comes up that's very special. That's maybe one you go back on sometimes, but it also feels very important. And I think it might have had to do with maybe her passing away one day or something along those lines. And at the end, it's like I hear "I love you." So I don't know if like you guys had that kind of conversation of what would happen one day when she was gone. But it's interesting because she shows me it's like a conversation that takes place in the car when like you're driving.
The only thing I can think of is when I drove her to an elder attorney and she made changes to her will. And because my dad passed first.
Uh-huh.
So she sold her house and she came to live with me. And so she changed her will and just left everything to me.
Okay. And you had a conversation about that in the car, like on the way there or something like that?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. Because it comes across as like a conversation that was important in that respect of her when she would leave, but it takes place in the car, and but it's interesting. She says, "I love you" after that, so I don't know if there was that moment as well. She could just be saying that now, but she just is she's just bringing up that conversation.
Wow.
Was she cremated?
No.
Who's cremated? Was anybody cremated? I keep getting
Ranger. No.
Well, I keep seeing cremains on like a shelf.
My dog Ranger Marie.
Okay. You cremated her, right? You
Yes.
have her on this shelf with like a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
That is for her.
Yes.
Okay. That makes sense because they're together, so of course they're gonna come in. All right. She keeps going back to that though. Like, is there something specific that you had thought that you wanted to do with that, or do you have her collar by that? Or do you have her collar? She shows me it sitting up by the cremation, but
Her collar?
yeah.
Yeah, I have it. Yes. It's not by the cremation, but she left me like a lot of signs and stuff.
Uh-huh.
So I have feathers, I have dimes.
Yeah, I see a lot of stuff by the cremation, but for some reason she's setting up the collar there. I don't really know why she's doing that unless you ever had it up there or that's where she wants it.
That would be her.
Because her collar seems like it's blingy or something, or it was like a special collar, and she liked it a lot.
It was pink and it said Ranger on it in rhinestones.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's blingy, like it has rhinestones or something on it. Yeah, okay. It's like she shows me it sitting by the cremation.
So I guess I better put it there.
She's not really the cremation, but it's like all my other stuff's there. Why isn't my collar there? Kind of thing, you know?
Oh my God. You know, and I just looked at it the other day too, and I'm like,
I kept seeing rhinestones on it. Like you blinked her out. Like that's the thing is, she was like a Miss Princess dog. Like she was so spoiled, it's ridiculous.
Exactly.
She was like your child.
Yes. Since I'm a hairdresser, I have all pictures of her when other people were getting spoils.
Did you also cut her hair as well?
I didn't groom her, but I would trim her a little bit.
Okay.
But I would put like a fake foil and a clip in her hair up there, and she'd be so happy and sit on the salon chair. It was funny.
So your mom wants you to know that Dad was the one that met her.
Oh, good.
Because I see she shows me the moment that she passed, and sometimes they do show me this, like when they go up above their body and they can see. It's like she sees you outside of the room,
right?
Like you're on your way there or whatever. Because I feel like she passed like right before you got there, so she saw exactly where you were at when she was leaving her body, and it's like she gets to the other side and he's waiting for her. And he comes up and he grabs her hand and they walk into the light. And that's what she shows me. So she wants you to know that they found each other again and that they're okay. And because I feel like soulmate energy with them.
My mom and dad,
yeah. They were together for a lot of years, like 60 years or something like that.
Yeah, 63.
Oh, see, I was close.
Yeah.
I heard 60. They always round up and down.
Yeah.
So also the month of September.
That's his birthday.
That's his birthday. Okay, that's just a validation. All right. That's just a validation that you know he had to say something too.
Yeah.
she says she knows it hasn't been easy without her. Like, she knows that because you had her there all the time. Because I literally feel like you were never far apart from her. You either had her next to you or she lived with you or whatever that may be. And I'm getting chills with that. She says that her passing was really hard on you. Because it was hard to get used to not having her presence. And then did the dog pass after her?
Yes.
Okay. Because then she talks about then you had the loss of your dog. Like, it was bam, bam, bam. And so she wants you to know that she hasn't really left you. Like, her presence has still been around and it will always be around. And she sees that sometimes, like, you struggle, like, I'm getting like your health wise, like you struggle health wise and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's times that you talk to her and she says that she hears you talk to her and she's there with you in those moments that you need her the most. She says, although, you know, it's not as a human, she said, I just went home. And so she says, you know, she shows me, she says, one day we'll be together again. And she shows me like a house. Like, I don't know if she ever talked about having a house on the other side or if you've thought about it, like you guys are all going to be living in a house together.
Maybe like a mansion or something.
Yeah.
She always talked about winning the lottery. That was her favorite thing.
She shows me like that there's this beautiful house on the other side. That's what she's showing me, like where she's at. And she just wants to I just want to thank you for being such a good daughter, because I feel like even when you were younger, like you didn't give her a lot of huff like a lot of us kids give our parents. You had your moments, of course, no one's perfect, right. But you two were always very close. And this is not the only lifetime that you guys had together either.
Really?
You guys have done this before. You've had roles reversed before where you've been her mom.
Wow. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what she shows me. She shows me her as a kid and you being the mom.
Oh my God.
In another life. So she's showing me that you guys have had this before.
Oh my God.
And she's blowing you kisses and she's holding Dad's hand and she's saying that she loves you.
Oh, I love her.
She's like, just tell her they love her. And then she goes like this. So lots of kisses.
I just miss her so much sometimes. I do sit there and talk to her, or I go to the grave, and I should go to the grave more. And
she's not at the grave.
Flowers, but no, I know that. I know.
So it's okay. You don't have to do that, because sometimes that's actually harder for us because it takes us back to their passing. You can talk to her anytime at your house. They don't care about that stuff. Like, they don't care if we visit our grave or anything like that. Like, they don't care because they're not there anymore.
Right. But when you said daisies, she was like a gardener.
Oh, okay.
He did. Like, she knew every flower that was in your yard.
Do you know if she happened to like daisies, like as one of her favorites?
There were daisies growing like right outside her window when she moved in with me. Okay. And maybe the house we were just building our house and we were thinking, oh, we're going to have so much room. And then I feel guilty about this. And I'm so glad that I got to spend 8 years with her here.
Yeah.
But she moved in. We had to turn it into an apartment for her in the basement. Mm-hmm. So, and she just thought our house was, like everything.
It could have been that, like, that you were building it. She just shows me a house. So I don't know. You take it however it resonates. I feel like she's got her house on the other side, like waiting for you to come live in the house with her. Yeah. And your dog is just running around. Like, I don't know if when your dog was, and I think that's how you recognize this was her whenever I was explaining her, was because of the dog.
Yeah. No, and her name was Catherine, but
because
it's so weird, but I knew
her name was Catherine.
Yes.
Did she ever go by Kathy?
Yeah. Kathy.
Oh, well, shiznick.
Kathy. She went by Kitty.
Okay, because Kathy was repeating over and over and over, and that's easy for me to get because that's my mom's name.
Okay.
So that's so funny. Now, I'm glad you validated that, because I'm going to be here looking for a Kathy now.
No.
So it was her. She literally came forward with her name like the guy with Michael did. So my names are getting better, yay. because I always struggle with names. I'm always afraid to say them because I'm like, well, what if they don't fit here? But they seem to always fit. So that's awesome.
I knew it.
You did. You called it. You called it.
I'm glad I stayed
And
up.
it's funny because I talked you into coming on here.
Yes. No. Yes. No, I wanted to.
But did she have a lot of jewels that she handed down to you?
Yeah.
Because I feel like she collected jewels, or that was another thing she collected or had, or whatever. And then I see her like grabbing it and like handing it to you. So that's usually telling me that they handed something or handed it down.
Yes.
She shows me a ton of jewels though. Like
Yes.
if she wore it all, she'd be blinged up.
Yeah. They're all still in her.
I don't know why she's bringing up Marilyn Monroe.
Yes. I'm sorry.
I don't know why she's bringing up Marilyn Monroe. Did she like Marilyn Monroe? Who likes Marilyn Monroe? Unless that's someone else.
All of us.
Did you guys like Marilyn Monroe?
That's all she talked about. Yeah. I have a giant Marilyn Monroe picture on my daughter's, like in the hallway right up down here.
Okay.
Weird.
All right. It's just interesting. That's just the last. That's just the last validation because she's like talking about Marilyn. First, she's talking about all the jewels she's got. And then she's talking about Marilyn Monroe. Like, if she put them all on, she'd be like Marilyn Monroe.
Oh my gosh.
That's pretty specific.
Everything you said is exact.
Awesome. Well, Sue, I'm glad you decided to come tonight. Know that your mom is obviously around. I think she plays with the lights and stuff often. And she's there. She's there, obviously.
Okay.
And that was her sign to you when she did that, to let you know that she was gonna be the first one to come in because she was gonna push everybody else out of the way. That's just her personality.
Yes, it was.
Get out of the way, I'm coming through.
Yes, that's exactly her. And
she just came in.
I thought too. I thought it was gonna be her or my nephew, because he was another one that I talked to often. But yeah, I knew she was strong.
Yeah. She was, because
so much.
She was the very first one. I just think it's so hilarious because you're like, well, my loved ones are strong. I'm like, so are everybody else's. But then she's the first one that pops in. Yeah, she pushed her way right through. So, awesome. I'm so glad. I'm so happy. I'm happy you decided to come.
Thank you. Thank you for doing this.
Of course. I hope we can do more messages. We'll see how
it goes.
Yes. All right. Thank you.
How do I get off right here?
I'll just remove you and then you can just